The house was glowing when I pulled into Mom and Dad's driveway, every window warm against the Midwest dark. Dad's lights traced the porch in straight, careful lines. Snow crunched under my boots. The air already smelled like pine and ham. I carried in a plain vanilla bundt cake I'd baked after work, wrapped in parchment and twine. Inside was familiar noise. Laughter, plates, Mom's voice from the kitchen ordering everyone to wash up and not touch the gravy. The tree blinked in the corner. For one breath, as I shrugged off my coat, I let myself believe we could just eat. Then Celeste laughed. She sat beside Dad at the head of the table, polished and loud, telling a story like she owned the room. Everyone listened. I set my cake on the counter. Her eyes darted to it and her smile tightened. She leaned back, still shining, and tossed her words at me. "So," she said, "what's it like being useless, Mara?" A chuckle lingered, unsure. A fork scraped. Then the room stalled. I felt the old heat I expected, shame, apology, hover and then vanish. I looked at Celeste's tight eyes and understood she was waiting to watch me break. Something in me clicked, quiet, steady. "Never better," I said, "especially since I stopped covering your bills." Silence hit hard. Mom froze mid-serve. Dad stood so fast his chair scraped. "What bills?" he demanded, staring at her, then at me. "Why would you be paying anything for your sister?" Every face swung my way, waiting for me to fold. I kept my hands on the chair back, planted, and drew in a careful breath. If I spoke again, there would be no rewinding this night. Dad stayed on his feet, knuckles white on the chair back. Mom's spoon hovered over the potatoes. I didn't look at Celeste. If I met her eyes, she'd turn this into theater. I faced Dad and spoke the way I do when a meeting is burning, clean, ordered. "It started in spring 2020, I said. "She called after midnight. She'd been laid off. She said it was temporary. She begged me not to tell you." Celeste let out a quick laugh, too bright. "Seriously?" "Rent first," I continued. "Then utilities. Then credit cards. Always just this once." "Always don't tell Mom and Dad." Dad's brow creased. "Why didn't you come to me?" "Because she sold silence as kindness," I said. "Like I was protecting you." I reached into my tote and pulled out a manila folder, edges worn from handling. I set it on the table beside my untouched cake. "I stopped sending money a few weeks ago," I said. "Tonight was her trying to shove me back into my place." Dad opened the folder. Highlighted transfers, dates, short notes in my handwriting. His eyes tracked line by line, then paused. I watched his face shift from confusion into something like grief. Mom stepped closer, a hand to her mouth. "Mara, how long?" Before I could answer, Aunt Tamsin's chair scraped back. "She asked me too," she said softly. "And she told me to keep it quiet." Celeste's smile flickered. "You're all overreacting." Dad lifted his gaze to her, voice low. "Celeste, did you borrow from your aunt, from your sister, from me?" She opened her mouth, closed it. The room held its breath. Dad waited, steady and unbearable. I nodded at the folder. "Read it," I said. He flipped pages. When he reached retirement, his face drained. "I gave you money," he told Celeste, shame cracking his voice. "From my account." "It was a loan," she said quickly. "Temporary." "That's the word you use," I said. "How much did you lose?" "Markets were crazy," she snapped. I was learning I could have made it back. Mom stepped in, apron clenched. "You let me brag about you while you took from us?" Celeste's chin lifted. "Don't make me sound like an addict." Dad set the folder down with both hands. "Enough. No more asking your sister, no more asking your aunt, no more asking me." His eyes didn't soften. "And you're not staying here tonight." Celeste's laugh came out thin. "So you're choosing her." "I'm choosing truth," Dad said, "and consequences." The old reflex in me, smooth it over, flickered. I killed it by touching the twine on my cake, the knot I'd tied myself. Celeste grabbed her coat. "Fine," she spat. "Enjoy your martyr. The door slammed. The house held still. Dad exhaled once, rough. "Tomorrow I'm locking down the accounts," he said. "No more secrets." Mom wiped her cheeks and whispered, "I'm sorry I didn't see you." I shook my head. "You see me now?" Dad nodded, and the nod felt like an apology. Mom sank into her chair, then looked up at me like she'd finally found me. Dad stared at the folder. "How are you standing?" he asked. "Because I stopped," I said. I unwrapped the cake, cut 3 slices, and set them down. We ate in silence, sweet, plain, real, until the room felt like ours again.